Justin Baldoni's attorney is accused by Blake Lively's lawyers of misleading comments.
Are you going to sue Blake Lively too?
Into oblivion, Megan. Wait till you see this lawsuit.
Oh boy. Well, for what?
I'm just going to tell you, you're going to have to wait and see. It's coming up soon, but it's all going to be based on evidence. It's not going to be just a lawsuit. It's going to be the kind of lawsuit that is full of evidence, admissions, documents, which prove exactly what she did and how she bullied her way through the process to take over the movie and used her PR people to try and destroy Justin.
Although drama and scandals are nothing new to Hollywood, the public is paying attention to this newest court dispute for the wrong reasons. Featuring two of Hollywood's most famous faces, Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively, today we're revealing the truth behind a scandal more twisted than a soap opera plot. Justin Baldoni's attorney is recently being accused by Blake Lively's lawyers of misleading comments. Get ready for an epic legal showdown that goes beyond the typical courtroom drama. It's a fight for reputation, honor, the truth, and the very essence of the entertainment industry itself. It ends with us co-star and director Justin Baldoni is being accused by the charismatic Blake Lively of smearing her reputation and harassing her. Brian Friedman, Baldoni's attorney, is already facing criticism over his response to this. Blake Lively's legal team has made statements that could change the course of events and has accused Friedman of spreading false information. But there's more. It gets juicier. Who's being truthful? Can we see the big picture, or are we only seeing the parts that someone wants us to see? Could this be just an instance of an aggrieved actress standing up for herself, or is there some other layer to this story that is being kept under wraps by lawyers? The premiere's sour aftertaste.
In it, just tell me what it was like also collaborating with Blake in this.
Oh, she's a creative force. She's a genius. She was involved in every aspect of this production, and everything she touched, she made better.
What was the most challenging scene for you to get right?
Oh my God, all of them. This whole movie, honestly, the work that I did on screen was easier than the work that I did off screen in this movie because of all that went into it. So I really look at I love a challenge though, and I'm just so proud of every bit of it.
Picture the glittering red carpet, the A-listers, and the flashbulbs going off. The It Ends With Us premiere was supposed to be a glamorous affair, but audiences could feel the cold tension between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni right away. There were no tender couple interviews or shared moments. We were unprepared for how scalding the tea would get when it began to brew. It's claimed by Justin Baldoni's team that Blake Lively had, in a show of power, restricted Justin Baldoni and his family to the basement for the premiere of the movie, with pictures surfacing of the actor and producer making the most of their time in the basement during the movie premiere.
Justin, his wife Emily Baldoni, and various other family members can be seen sitting around a red table in a windowless space with overflowing boxes of popcorn. In another photo, Justin poses against pallets containing stacks of unopened packs of water bottles and Coke bottles alongside 7 of his female friends and relatives.
The Hollywood showdown begins. Actress Blake Lively, known for her roles in Gossip Girl and The Age of Adeline, has accused Justin Baldoni, who directed and co-starred with her in It Ends With Us, of harassment and smearing her reputation. A high-stakes court battle has ensued, though because Baldoni's defense has retaliated. Let us get right down to it. In an effort to influence public opinion, Blake Lively's legal team has accused Brian Friedman, who represents Baldoni, of making false statements. How do these remarks fit into the bigger picture of the suit, though, and what are they precisely?
So I decided to take some time to actually deeply read through Justin Baldoni's lawsuit against Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. And it just further cemented everything that I had found out, and realizing that everything we're reading, it's not a lawsuit. I want you guys to know that we are not observing publicly back and forth a lawsuit. What we are observing is essentially a ticking time bomb, a timer.
Blake Lively put a legal grenade into the equation right before the holiday season could bring peace on Earth. She filed a legal complaint accusing Baldoni of sexual harassment and a retaliatory smear campaign. The facts were shocking. Lively said she was threatened and harassed while filming, ruining an otherwise perfect production. This was not something that Justin Baldoni was going to let slide. He then sought $400 million in his countersuit, presumably on the advice of his lawyer, Brian Friedman, accusing Lively of defamation and an attempt to hijack the film. He asserted that Lively was the one who attempted to manipulate the story and the audience and damage his reputation. With each side attempting to burn the other, the legal tea had now reached a boiling point. Blake Lively's legal team has made a daring assertion. They say that Brian Friedman, the lawyer for Justin Baldoni, has been trying to deceive everyone, including the court, by manipulating the story. Lively's attorneys claim that Friedman's remarks, especially in interviews and public declarations, misrepresent the entire context of the narrative because he chooses which facts from evidence to include and which to leave out. The big question is, what are the missing components of this puzzle? Baldoni's lawyer, Friedman, has spoken out in defense of Baldoni, saying that Lively's team is trying to take control of the film, and bringing charges against his client is part of an elaborate scheme to achieve that. However, was this tactic a deliberate attempt to mislead, or merely astute PR?
Taylor Swift has allegedly invited Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds to watch the Super Bowl with her in her little special box. And why we should feel some type of way about this is because you are who you hang around. So even if we don't look at this entire mess with the Justin Baldoni lawsuit, how could you be friends with somebody who's openly said they did blackface, painted herself all in bronzer so that she could look like a black girl, and then never even apologized for it? I haven't heard one apology from Blake Lively.
If Lively's court documents are to be believed, Friedman has engaged in a pattern of actions designed to influence public opinion. This allegation, if proven, could have far-reaching consequences for the case at hand and for the ethics of handling celebrity disputes generally. Enter Ryan Reynolds. The nice pool charade.
Person who wrote to me said that they worked on the set of It Ends With Us, okay? And that the villain in this entire story is not Blake Lively, it's not Justin Baldoni, but it is Ryan Reynolds.
It becomes excitingly complicated at this point. Blake Lively's husband, Ryan Reynolds, who is famous for playing the irreverent Deadpool, became involved in this story in the most Reynolds way imaginable, with humor and a touch of cinematic shade. Reynolds creates a new character named Nicepool in Deadpool and Wolverine, and fans and legal teams alike are guessing that this is a dig at Baldoni. The persona that Nicepool exudes with his man bun and self-declared feminist position reflects that of Baldoni.
Sorry about that. But in here, everybody calls me Nicepool. Who are you? Oh, I'm Deadpool. And I guess you're Deadpool, too. She just had a baby, too, and can't even tell. Plated 50 caliber Desert Eagle pistoleros? Of course.
A lot of people saw this as a jab at Baldoni for what they said were remarks about Lively's post-baby body. Reynolds enlisted the help of Hugh Jackman, a longtime friend and co-star, because he was not satisfied to limit himself to his own involvement. Promo videos for It Ends With Us feature interviews between Ryan, Hugh, and Ryan's mother and Brandon, who played the role of Baldoni for the purpose of the interviews. They seem to turn the situation into an us against him storyline, with suggestive statements that many fans suspect to be threats to Baldoni.
Oh, God. This is cool. It's not every day the husband gets to interview his wife's love interest in a film. It's kind of crazy.
I don't remember seeing this on the schedule.
Let's dive in, shall we? So I saw you posing in a photo with Mrs. Reynolds, and I'm sorry, what do you call her? Do you guys have a nickname or something? Okay, no, just so it's Mrs. Okay. Anyway, I saw this photo, It was very suggestive. So here, I got it right here. I'm gonna get right to it.
Hello, Brandon.
No.
Well, it's not every day the mother-in-law of the leading lady gets to interview the love interest and the man trying to replace my sweet little gummy bear, Ryan. Let's dive in, shall we?
It's not every day a guy gets to interview the love interest of his best friend's wife and the guy trying to replace Ryan as a husband and me as his best mate.
Holy shit.
I've never done an interview before, but I've done a lot of things, like crazy things in Australia. You do understand you can't even get into preschool unless you take a person's life with your own bare hands.
Evidence or illusion? The more we look, the more we wonder. What exactly is Lively's team pointing to as proof? They have cited instances of how Friedman's public remarks supposedly contradict or distort the context and meaning of private conversations that took place between the co-stars.
To back up. This is on the marks, and I think the light is what means you follow that.
I think feel better when it's behind me.
Oh, okay. They score!
For instance, Lively's lawyers claim that emails and text conversations that were meant to be included in the story have been cherry-picked or altered for the sake of public viewing. The legal battle here isn't just about the allegations of harassment, but the integrity of how this case is being fought in the court of public opinion. Whose interpretation will be accepted by the court, given that both parties have pledged to disclose all communications? The anticipation of these, as Friedman puts it, receipts, are what have fans and observers waiting on the edge of their seats. Is there more tampering going on here, or might these records provide the answers to many questions? The backstory and the battle for reputation. Knowing details of the backdrop is crucial to fully understanding this saga. Adapted from the best-selling novel by Colleen Hoover, It Ends With Us delves deeply into the topics of domestic abuse and survival, making it more than just another film effort. The present legal struggle is even more baffling because both Lively and Baldoni were considered as advocates of this story. While Lively's accusations depict a hostile work environment, Baldoni's counter-narrative claims Lively used her accusations to gain control of the film's direction and marketing. This dispute isn't just about legal rights. It's a power struggle over the narrative of their mutual professional past. Their careers, reputations, and even the future of Hollywood's approach to handling such conflicts are all on the line in these lawsuits. One must wonder, as the conclusion of this judicial drama draws near, how this will affect their future in Hollywood. The legal chess game. Now let's discuss tactics. In addition to accusing Friedman of making inaccurate statements, Lively's team has asked the court to step in and stop what they're calling a campaign of retaliation via media leaks. In an effort to return the conflict to the privacy of the courtroom, they are effectively requesting a gag order.
Blake Lively's team has had enough. They've now filed paperwork to stop Justin Baldoni's lawyer from continuing with his media campaign.
Friedman, in contrast, has been unyielding in his claims that Lively's camp instigated this media-feeding frenzy and is now trying to censor him because the story isn't going their way. The goal of this legal chess game is to dominate the storyline and show who can be the most cunning in a legal setting. What happens next depends on the parties involved. They may decide to settle out of court, or this case could become a protracted legal stalemate. Does this situation have a winner, or does everyone lose? What's next in this Hollywood legal drama? As we wrap this up, the question in everyone's mind is what's next? There has been little progress in the legal disputes because both sides have dug in. There may be more litigation on the horizon, including countersuits and perhaps a showdown in court that spills more than ink. Possible precedents for the treatment of high-profile legal disputes may be established by this case, which might have far-reaching consequences. Will there be a settlement to this drama, or will it escalate into a trial that everyone watches? This case has become folklore in the entertainment industry, as Reynolds has turned his personal life into a plot point, including his mom, closest friend, and even his films. How does this saga affect Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni's professional lives? Will Ryan Reynolds be able to maintain his comedic timing while his wife's court struggle progresses? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And hey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more stories like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.